Yeah, shawty, my people for real. What is, as they say up top, really good? Hey, this is another session of Ed Talks, and I got to think of a caption for this one. Today is the 4th of August, 2022, and it's big news always happening. First of all, there's 8 billion people on the earth, so it's always news that is happening. The news that we focus the most on is the news that is marketed towards us, targeted towards us, that, brings us gets the most attention collectively, and then it becomes just important to us. And one of the major topics, important news to us, is a young lady named Brittney Griner, who today was sentenced to 9 freaking years in incarceration in, I don't know if it's still called the Soviet Union or if it's just Russia. I don't know. But the land of Putin, how about that? Okay. As I think that this war is starting to come to a close or culminate, I'm not really sure where we are with it. Prices are coming down on certain things. They tried to blame a lot of it on the war. I don't know. But what I do know is I got a lot of friends, a lot of associates that smoke weed who have been caught with more cannabis than what Shawty had on her, and they ain't get 9 years. Now understand, we're talking about 2 different governments. We're talking about a democracy versus, I need to research more concerning what Russia's construct is from a governmental standpoint. But we understand that Putin is running the show, and there's a certain way that they're governed. So let me qualify why I'm even speaking on this in the first place. I have served as the in-game entertainment host for the Atlanta Dream. A-Town, you already know. Peace up, A-Town down. All of this, watch this, I got you. Plus, Usher stole that from my dad. Let me just pause for a minute. This is a commercial break brought to you by Jesus Christ. Usher was mentored by my father, Bishop Eddie Lee Long. And while recording the album Confessions, there was a point in their relationship where they were really, doing life together a lot and all that kind of stuff. And my dad is notorious for saying, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this now, watch this, watch this. And Usher vicariously says that on the record. I think that he was paying a bit of homage to my pops and all of that. But over time, as things happen, shout outs don't really take place like they're supposed to and all of that. And now the bigger personality, more relevant personality now, etc., is getting the credit. But I want to let y'all know who the real creditor is. Bishop Eddie Lee Long. So anyway, I hosted the Atlanta Dream, WNBA, Women's National Basketball Association games, in-game entertainment host for about 6 seasons. This was the first year that I was not involved in the organization. It's just divine timing. Here it is. My wife and I just had a son, and it would have caused me to be in the arena with 3,000 people, a lot, and potentially bringing home and exposing him to a myriad of things. So God understands all that kind of stuff. But in this process, I've seen Brittney Griner in person, watched her consistently playing, dominating on the court, just really being exposed to her, exposed to some of the players here and their chatter, who's digging her, who doesn't like her, conflict resolves, just the WNBA socialite world, if you will. And so when I first heard about her being obtained and, being held naturally, just being a human being, all right? Not a human, because there's some people who are humans dying, humans not existing, but being a human being. The being part is what's important. Being everything God called us to be. A human being, part of being is to love and have empathy and all these type of things. I was being for her. I was sitting there. I was like, wow, I don't know what's going on, but it sounds rough. It sounds like the young lady made a decision that wasn't the best. Maybe she was ill-informed, not informed, maybe took advantage, maybe didn't think she was going to get caught. Maybe it's a lot of maybes. Only person that knows is her and the truth that she would share with you. The point being is that, how would I feel if I did something wrong on purpose or unintentionally, and now here I am, millions of miles away from home, in a country that's actively at war, and the country that I am a citizen of is not even intervening to the extent that many would expect within the war. How do I expect them to show up for me? What's up with my family now? She professes to be a woman who practices a lesbian lifestyle. So now, whether we agree with that or not, there's someone that has some sort of intimate feelings, concern, care, all of that about her. So that's another level. And then she's somebody's daughter. All right. She's somebody's cousin. There are people who care. She's somebody's teammate. You feel me? So all these things, all these thoughts that come to mind. And I'm watching this and I'm like, well, how was you feeling when you were in your little international thug situation? Y'all ain't know I was an international thug, but I was ascertained or apprehended 2 times myself while traveling internationally. The first time was when I was in, where was I? Oh, I was in freaking France, hanging out with my cousin's friends, French friends. I went to my cousin's wedding in Ireland. Then I hopped over to Paris. Some of her friends that I met at the wedding, they invited me to come to a kickback at somebody's house. The kickback turned into us going out to a nightclub. Going out to a nightclub turned into us being in the middle of the street, apprehended by the French police because the promoters of this nightclub accused one of the persons who was in my party of ordering drinks and not paying for it. And we're walking away. They finna get into a fight. It's some French Africans with some French African descendants, Caucasians, native Frenches, and here I am as a African American descendant, and it's a lot going on. I don't understand the language because that French language is a different thing, and now I'm sitting here ascertaining, like, what the heck? I didn't like that. And as I first mentioned, the promoters was trying to fight us off the rip. So now it is, I'm gonna have to throw hands for some people I just met with some people I don't even know. I didn't even find out what the argument was about till after being ascertained for 30 minutes. Then one of the young ladies who we went, remember, oh, he speak English. He don't speak what we speak. So let me tell him what's going on. Imagine being about to fight over some crap you don't even know what's going on. Anyway, that's the first time. Fast forward. The second time, I'm headed to South Africa to preach. I take the long route. I go through Qatar. Some people call it Qatar. Doha is the city. The country is Qatar, whatever your vernacular is. I put on a thobe. That is the Muslim robe. I got the hat on, the ring, the bone, all this. And I want to go outside and take some pictures. So my partner's cousin, fiance, who I was kicking it with at the time, she suggests that we go out and take some pictures in front of some of the embassies. Well, unbeknownst to me, you can't take pictures in front of embassies. So I'm standing out here, fresh in my thobe, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know everybody want to take the little pictures, got the chic look, you know what I'm saying? Styling, profiling. I'm out there doing me, thinking, okay, yeah, I'm and next thing I know, they roll up on us. And some ambassador / police officer is running from one of the other governmental facilities, yelling, whatever he's saying. I guess he's saying, stop, no, you can't do this, whatever. I'm looking at her, everybody. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking, who got the gun? Who is, they must not be talking to us. Somebody else is over here. He comes, snatches her camera from her, says, delete. I could make that out. She's like, why? No, delete. I said, okay, something is wrong. Long story short, He asked her for ID. She doesn't have ID. I do. She left her ID in her apartment, which is across the street and on the 30th floor. She's trying to talk to him, but she barely knows the language. More police come. One of the guys can speak English. Now, he's interpreting, saying, well, you don't have ID, so we have to take you to the station. I'm saying, I got ID. Let me call the boyfriend and let him know, hey, bring your wife ID. Tell me why we calling them and nobody answering the phone. So now the plot thickens. I can't abandon this young lady. I don't know how to get back. I don't know how to get in the building. It's a catch-22. They put us in the back of the police car. Take us to a Muslim, Doha'an, Qataran prison. I got to catch a flight in like 6 hours on top of all of this. I'm sitting here, chilling, being cool, but saying, bro, this is some bull. So finally, after a couple of hours, they question me some more. I can show them all of my stuff. And I'm like, hey, man, I got to catch a flight. Finally, somebody with some common sense steps up and says, we take you back. You get her ID. Cool. I'm out. I go get the ID. Tell her boyfriend what's going on. He's pissed off with her. I'm pissed off with him. He take me to the airport, go get her. It is what it is. International thugging. I can't make this stuff up. So as I'm watching this Brittney Griner situation, I'm like, I can really empathize. I didn't like it for 2 or 3 hours. Hell, I didn't like it when it first started for 2 or 3 minutes. This girl has been over there for weeks and now just got sentenced to months. I heard Lil Boosie say that if it was Taylor Swift, they'd have been over there. Maybe so, maybe not. I feel him though. Probably so. I'm seeing some of the comments on social media from Americans who are saying some very heartless things. Oh, that'd be plenty of time for her to think about what she did. And that. I'm just like, wow. I understand why Jim Brown said, I ain't finna do all this for America. I understand why Muhammad Ali said, I'm not finna enlist in the draft, bro. I understand why so many people have said, no, I'm taking a knee. Now, I'm not trying to go down the Black Power route because I'm not really the Black Power guy. I'm the Kingdom of God guy, and that's a different thing. That's a totally different thing. I'm for everybody while calling everybody out at the same time. Here's what I want some people to consider. I saw what people were saying that Kamala, who is, to my understanding, an African descendant, Jamaican or Caribbean descendant, coupled with being married to a Caucasian descendant, and a lot of things at work. A lot of people were on the bandwagon during the campaign for Biden-Harris and all Black Power, Black Sister, and da-da-da, and all of these type of things. And a lot of people voted simply because of race and color. There's a new justice who was sworn into the Supreme Court. People ain't never heard of this lady before a day in their life. But simply because she was African American or seemed to be, although she's married, my understanding, to a Caucasian gentleman again, for some reason, we automatically are inspired, emotionally attached to, gravitate to all of these things. Color. We know nothing about a person's personal beliefs, politics, none of these things. Morals, values, ethics, none of this. We don't send them through the meal test at all. For me, the meal test is their morals, their ethics, the things that they feel are appropriate, and how they view the law. MEAL, a meal test. We don't give them that. We just salute, sign off because of race and emotionalism. You don't know this person? And a lot of people are cap, big cap. They'll ride the wave. They will appropriate or play on your emotions, knowing that they ain't really for you in the first place. Now, I'm not saying Kamala is or not for. I'm not saying the justice is or not for. What I am saying is that many of us got to slow down with putting too much faith, too much trust based on some shallow things. Never met the person, never talked to him, haven't researched him, don't know anything. If you research Kamala, you understand she officiated. After being part of legalizing and all of these things, she officiated the first lesbian or gay union in the state of California. So you would think that she would be rallying around or doing some things concerning Brittney Griner, all this type of stuff. I just want to push us to think for a minute. As these upcoming elections, or we have these elections that are upcoming and all of that, why do I vote? Why do I vote for who I vote for? What is the litmus test? What bounds do I stay within, and why? Am I taught to just do this? And what's the reason? You know, I got my quarrels with Trump. I got my quarrels with Biden. Then I have things that Biden has done that I do like. More so in the past when he was vice than president. Then I have things that Trump has done that I like. I love them both. And not just because God asked me to, but because I'm on the pathway to being who God has made me to be, and that is a lover of people. It was hard to vote for Biden. It was. For me, it was hard to vote for Biden. And there have been moments where I've looked and said, dang, I probably should have voted for Trump. And it's hard to say that. I aim to vote for the right person. So I aim to vote from a kingdom perspective. Biden said, hey, man, he was on Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne, the God. And he says, hey, vote for Joe. If you're black, come on. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to vote for Joe. You just take our vote for granted, just like it's just supposed to. But yet, what are we getting in exchange? And what is the accountability protocol for all of these things? Here's the thing. For me, that I was like, man, Trump said that he wouldn't have mandated the vaccine. And this is what he said. He could have lied. He could have went a different way. But this is what he said. And so far, this is what his actions have shown. So whether I like his view on one thing or another, whether I think he's a racist or not, let's get into the big picture stuff. For me, I don't want anybody to mandate anything. And so if Trump would not have mandated the vaccine for everybody, then that's more pro-choice for me and others. It doesn't say no one can get the vaccine. It means if you want it, get it. If you don't, cool. You're not going to lose your job in healthcare. You're not going to lose your job in this. You won't be threatened about this. Supreme Court doesn't have to step in and overturn and off. If we're supposed to be the land of the free. Biden comes in. He wants to push for a mandate. So in one instance, you want to be pro-choice about what a woman can do with her body and her reproductive parts and the seed that's growing within her. But on the other hand, you want to tell a person, you don't have no choice. You got to do this and that's it. And we've given you enough time. Get on board. Which way is it? And all of this emotionalism, all of this black woman power, all of these things, and this young lady is sitting in jail with a 9-year sentence. Was it a gram even? Was it a dime back? Where's the sister girl convo now? And so we got, coming up now, we got a lot more sisters stepping up, a lot more people of color stepping up, a lot more Asians and Indians and African descendants and Hispanics stepping up and Muslims and all types of beliefs. Here in the state of Georgia, Stacey Abrams is stepping up to run and all. And don't just vote from an emotional standpoint. You're not a sellout if you vote based upon your convictions and true principles, even if the person that you're voting for doesn't look like you. You know what a sellout is? A sellout is someone, in my opinion, who does something on the outside to appease others, to conform to others that they truly did not agree with within themselves. To thyself first be true. You can't keep it real with nobody else if we're not keeping it real with ourselves. And boy, I done been through some seasons where I kept it real with everybody else and then keep it real with myself. And ultimately, I didn't keep it real with nobody because I didn't keep it real with self. It failed. It didn't work. Don't vote just because everybody else is voting. It's going to be a lot of people going to hell. Don't go to hell just because everybody else going to hell. That's the difference between the broad versus the narrow way. Let's spend some time within ourselves. Explore our true convictions and vote based on what's important, not to everybody else, but to you. Because God forbid you be in a Brittney Griner situation and having put all this faith in these people only for a day to come that you're convicted for 9 years. And still, the cape that they told you that they had to save you from your situation is still hanging up in their closet. They've yet to go into the phone booth, put on their superhero outfit and come save you. But they told you to vote for them because they had your back. It's your brother, Ed Long Jr.